welcome to the Awaken Sober podcast. It's a podcast about life in recovery through Christ.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah,
hello.
Hey,
y'all.
We back.
We back.
Yes, we are. First things first, we want to thank our sponsor, Tactile Turn. We got any of that good stuff lying around? I know we got something.
Oh man, I bet you I got a whole backpack full of
We
them.
about to pull out the bag, y'all. Look out now.
Yeah, I'll just pull out the one.
Pop one. Bam.
Just the stainless steel.
It's a stainless, real nice.
Yeah,
Real nice.
I like this. This is another heavy one to
Dunk somebody upside the head.
Everybody asked me, so I'll let people like use my pens at work and stuff. They're like, "This is a really nice pen." I go, "Yeah, it's a $300 pen. Don't lose it." And they go, "This is a $300 pen." I'm like, "Yeah." You spent money on that? I go, "No, it's our sponsor. What are you talking about?"
Sponsor for what?
Tactile Turn.
Tactile Turn, baby.
Also, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. We're on all podcast platforms. If you have some questions for us or you have some topics you want to discuss, you can email us at info@awakensober.org.
I had somebody on visitation day actually had me take their phone, get to the Apple Podcast, find our thing, and hit it so it's notified every time one comes out.
Nice. Right on. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
buddy.
So they was really excited about the thing. So yeah.
Look at that. That's what it should be. That's what it should be.
That's what the whole point behind this was, helping out, individuals like that need the help.
Yeah,
That's what we're doing.
People at my the little gig I'm filling in for a little while have been asking about it. So
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll share that all around that place too.
Oh yeah.
You gotta love these recovery centers.
But it's really cool to just have a podcast to come and hang out with and to be able to share, because now it's not just 10 to 20 people in a room, nationwide, worldwide even.
Yeah, there's been a couple people over in Europe,
Did you say Russia at one point?
Russia.
Really?
Yeah, we had somebody over in Russia chilling out, relaxing, watching the podcast. So.
Nice.
What is it, Vidanya? If you're still there, hi. That might be goodbye.
He said yeah. Yeah. Nah, not today.
Big D, how you doing, brother?
I am good, man. I am good. I mean, I don't even.
Yeah.
Hi.
Because we get up on here, and I want people to also know that just because we are all in recovery and we're all working a program, that we don't have our own issues. And we do have our issues a lot of times. But for the most part, God has taken a lot of my issues away from me. And and it's not that he's taken them away. I've been able to give them up to him. And that's why I know it's one of the things we share in our steps, and that, letting go, letting God, and, letting go of these things. And being able to do that and being able to do so, life's just getting better and better and stuff.
Amen.
And I'm like feeling a calling to take over this ministry, but I'll talk with the guy about it later. But for now, I'm doing what I'm doing.
A lot of work, and let me tell you, it's the most rewarding thing that you could do, really, is lead the ministry. But I'll tell them now, it's lonely at the top. And it's not that you're above anybody else, but when things go bad, you're the one they look to. And when things go good, God's the one they give credit to. Mm-hmm. And that's the way it should be. But, man.
I'm going to say I'm fine with that, because I ain't looking for no credit.
Yeah, you just get a target on your back for some reason, right?
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, but trust me, you're the one that I kind of figured would do it.
I figured it was, because this is how I figured that he thought I would. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah, I don't want to be ministry leader of this all the time. I mean, I like doing what I do, but looking for somebody to take over.
Real nonchalant Derek.
Looking right at me as he's saying it, talking to somebody else. And I'm like, you know what? I got you, man. I got you. But
you're the right person for the right job, man. It's just the way it goes.
Who would have ever thought that I would be a ministry leader? Those of y'all out there that know me and know me in my past, who would have thought?
Who would have thunk it?
Who would have thunk? I mean, it's like, there's got to be that power greater than ourselves in order to put me in a position like that, or even to be looked upon in a position like that.
Think about it. You've held a position at a church.
Mm-hmm.
You're an ordained pastor. You're a substance abuse counselor, and about to be a ministry leader. There's got to be a God.
I mean, hello.
Only way to look at it. There's got to be an amazing God, and a God with a great sense of humor.
Definitely has a sense of humor. I mean, look at the platypus.
Look at the Derek.
And then look at Derek.
And look at the Derek.
Look at there I
mean, there's a great God with a great sense of humor, man.
Without a doubt.
We are blessed to be a part of. Mikey.
Hi.
How are you, my good sir?
Doing well. Doing very, very well.
It was good to see you last night.
Yeah, it's glad to be back. It's a good worship.
He wasn't there when I did the walkthrough. I read through the songs and I looked. I was like, "Damn, you just trying to wreck everybody tonight, ain't you?"
I started with some bangers, man. So the day before, I was driving home from work, and I was listening to "It Might Get Loud," and then Katie called me on my way, and I had about a minute and a half right before they do the big breakdown, and really get to it. And I'm like, "Hold on, I'm banging. I'll call you right back." And then I kicked it on loud. I turned it all the way up, and I was just like, "Yes, this is exactly what I needed." And then last night I walk in, and it's immediate. It might get loud again. And I was like, "This is the song."
He's like, so this is what you called me back for?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
exactly.
baby.
If I could say though, Mike usually doesn't stand during worship. He was on his feet last night. I just want to throw that out there. He was up on his feet last night.
I had a partner in crime. She came last night. She hasn't been in a while. It was really good to see her there. She goes, "Stand up." And I go, "This is my time. Typically, I sit down." She goes, "Okay." And immediately I was like, "All right, I'll stand up." So I stand up, and the songs played, and it was great. And then Surrender came on, and I just me and God had a conversation. Closed my eyes, and I just gave it up. I'm going through some issues right now that giving it up to God is the only way I can see myself through. It's things that, I have to, consequences, and these are from the decisions I've made and what I'm going through. And I know that God's got my back. So we had a little chat. I said, take it all. That's all I can ask.
We had a song last week where that woman, when she was singing, she goes, "God's got your back." You know he's got your back. So just to hear you say that God's got my back, I'm like, hey, yeah, we heard that last week.
Yeah.
Come out of her mouth.
It was a great small group, great big group. The testimony was fantastic. Shout out to Tim. It was so good.
Yeah.
I went up to him after, and I was just like, that was incredible. I was like, I needed that.
It's funny. We sit there saying God's got our back, but he's also our guide.
Yeah.
That goes with that whole omnipresence of God. Not only does he got our back, he's leading our way.
Yeah. Fighting our battles beside us, and he's got our back.
There you go.
And he's in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, man.
He's above us, just never below us.
No.
Shane, how you doing, brother?
Man, I am well. There was a couple of days I was off this past week. Probably drove my wife absolutely batty. Well, I know I did. Had a little bit of time. I would say probably a good 2 or 3 days I was off. And I don't know why, but I was off.
That don't sound right.
Sometimes it happens, right?
Like not working?
No. Like off. So we call it off.
Oh, yeah, okay, I get it now.
If you're not on point, you're off, right?
Yep.
I was off, and she was trying to tell me I was off, and I didn't really want to hear it, right? But I started that new gig this Monday, and it's kind of fun getting out of the house, doing odds and ends, and I mean, really is what they're doing is they're paying me to put people into treatment, which is what I've done for the last how many years anyway. Even as a full-time pastor, we put several hundred people in treatment while we were at Morning Star Church. And so now they're paying me a decent salary to do so, go shake some babies, kiss some hands, inside of hospitals and other places. We'll see how many people catch it.
Nice.
Catch it, change it.
Check it, catch it, change it.
Check it, catch it, change it.
No, catch it, check it, change it.
Catch it, check it, change it. Check it, catch it. Catch it, check it.
Change it.
No, I want to see if they catch on to what I said or not catch what I said.
Yeah.
We'll see if anybody can, because if they can, then they can write in and maybe we'll send them a gift. I'm interested in sending out a free gift to somebody. I've only sent a couple so far to people. So, But other than that, man, it's been great. You said it, a great night of worship. That's all that needs to be said. What's funny, man? We have a great night of worship without a band up there.
That is pretty wild.
I mean, that is, how often can you go somewhere and just be you, let go, and you don't even have a band in there leading you. We just got videos leading us.
Hey, man, the kids rocked the joint last night.
Again.
I was in the kids section. It was awesome.
And how often can you say that?
I did it on purpose, too.
He was at the kiddie table.
I did it on purpose. Right?
How often can you hear that, though? I was in the kids section, and I loved it.
It was great.
Because those kids were just clowning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you don't know how to worship, Tuesday night, 8676 Orf Road, Lake St. Louis, Missouri, stop on by and let these little young ones show you how to worship. Because I'll tell you what, it opens it up to where it frees you up to truly raise your hands, praise God, sit in your seat, like put your head in your hands if you need to, Whatever it is you want to do, they're going to teach you.
I got my jump in it last night. Them kids was rocking so hard. I'm in the back. I was
I did look back, and Darren's like,
it's great, man.
it's contagious, man.
Like another good thing that happened last night. Had a little, sample of the landing coming back, which was really good. I really actually enjoyed it, and that I know we're planning on training some people to do it and stuff, and I'm, more than well. If I'm gonna be moving up to another position, I'm definitely gonna have to get somebody to do my job better than I did. So that's my goal right now, is finding someone to do my job better than me.
So what is the landing for those that don't know?
Right. So the landing is to celebrate recovery for teenagers, 13 to 18. Like we shared, celebrate recovery is a lot like Reclaiming Hope. We focus on the family. It's not just the addict. It's not just the alcoholic. We want to, not just the person dealing with depression. We're going for that family. Because if you at home and you're dealing with depressive episodes, you more than likely taking that on them kids, and them kids have to deal with it. So we're there to help guide those kids, build those kids up, get to the point where we actually put Celebrate Recovery out of business because the kids done been healed before they even became adults.
Now, wasn't he just complaining to you about putting treatment centers out of business?
Yeah.
And now he wants to put Celebrate Recovery out of business. We're just going to put everything out of business.
Everything's going out of business, dude.
It's going to take a while to put Celebrate Recovery out of business. But if that's my focus, I think that's a very positive focus, and that's something to work on with these kids. So
that's the landing. And then we have Celebration Place, which is Celebrate Recovery for kids, kids 5 to 12 years old in Celebration Place. Now, those ages aren't a given. They do it by grades. They do it by ages, but also maturity a little bit, right? Because there's probably some 12-year-olds out there that have been through more stuff than even we have, that would benefit from the landing more than Celebration Place. But each of these run concurrent with the other programs. So Celebration Place, the landing, Celebrate Recovery, all happen on the same night. Healing for the entire family. So we all learn the same lessons, but age appropriate. So the landing, age appropriate, Celebration Place, age appropriate. And it's really neat to see a family go back to walk past donuts or walk past, hey, what did you learn tonight? Well, I learned how to take off my mask of denial. And you hear the parents talking the same conversation. And all of a sudden, next thing you know, we got a family using the entire language of recovery within its walls of its home. There's nothing greater than watching that. Yeah. So speaking of recovery, what are we talking about today in recovery? What do we got?
Step 10.
Step 10.
Yeah, we went through 8 and 9, making amends and finding forgiveness and all that throughout the last couple of weeks. And, this week we're going to go into Step 10.
What is Step 10?
Doing a daily inventory. And when we were wrong, promptly admitted it.
Only admit it, though.
Yeah.
No need to make it right. Just admit it.
You got to make it right. That's what you admit it. That's what you got to do is make it right. That's the whole point of admitting.
You just said I had to admit it. I don't want to make it right. That sounds like a lot of work. Sounds like more ninth step all over again.
This is why I got a 12-pack of Get Right in my car, right? Because
better than nothing.
I like it. That's why I got a 12-pack of Get Right in my car.
So step 10, basically, and then we're going to talk about how to maintain a step 10. So a daily inventory.
Yeah.
So what is a daily inventory? A daily inventory is an essential part of the CR/AA Step 10 format. It involves taking stock of your thoughts, feelings, and actions for the day and assessing whether you have lived up to your ideals. It consists of a daily inventory or a spot check, quote unquote, inventory ensuring that any wrongdoing that may have been done to another are immediately recognized and dealt with.
Yeah, and is what I like to do is, and I'll send you some, and you could put some in your own. So in show notes for this one, I would love for us to throw some maybe journal prompts out there for people that don't know. Like what kind of journal prompts to use for a daily inventory when you go to write it with your tactile turn pen that you should order.
I was thinking the F word.
Fowler?
No, not Fowler.
Hi.
Thanos.
Oh, Thanos. Ooh, yeah. Feelings, affirmations, needs, ownership, success, and struggles.
Yeah.
Thanos.
That's a daily inventory, right?
Yeah.
I do. I get it.
Yeah. So Thanos is one way. We could put Thanos back in there, but just some, general questions. What thoughts or feelings have I been holding on to that are causing me distress? Have I been honest and transparent in my interactions? Just different things like that. Because really, step 10 is more what you were talking about on the last episode of making my living amends. Because we're going to take a look at our day and say, hey, is there something that I need to, and then we're going to get away. And I mean, one thing that we talk about in Celebrate Recovery is doing periodic check-ins, right? So every 30 days or 90 days, you're reading through your journal. Where have I improved? Where do I still need to improve?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one neat thing about a daily inventory. One, we keep our side of the street clean, but we also see where we're growing and where we still need to do some work.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about it is you take note of your character defects that you can continue to work on them and improve upon them. Because you don't just get rid of defects. They don't magically disappear. You constantly have to be, not focus on them, but be mindful of them, that they could pop up at any given moment. So how are we doing this? We are taking an inventory of our defects and trying to turn them into assets.
What if you don't have any defects?
Then you are not a real person.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I've never met one person without a defect, so.
Just Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Yeah.
The one and only.
Just Jesus. So what else about a 10-step? What's the importance of taking an inventory of your thoughts, feelings, and actions for today? I mean, really, what is the...
For me, doing it is, a lot of times I get to, it's okay, this happened today. This is how I approached it. Where did I do it right? And a lot of times I find myself saying, no, I could have done it this way. When I say I could do it this way, that means I should start putting that more into practice on my daily living. How I approach an individual, how I approach a situation, and as I continuously do that, I'm continuously building myself and building to be more that transparent individual that I'm trying to be, and stuff.
Right on.
And that's my thoughts on it.
I dig it.
It's like a constant workout, but for my character. It's a constant workout. Everything, I try harder the next day to do better than what I did the day before, like I did in the workout, and I'm recognizing where I did wrong in that workout that I could do better the next day. And the whole, telling somebody I'm sorry if I did really do something wrong.
He sounded enthusiastic about that. So, Mike, how can doing a daily inventory prevent relapse or even help us grow in our recovery?
I think it can help by noticing the old behaviors that you might have exhibited back when you were using. Okay, so I'm living this day, and I'll be the first to admit I haven't been great on journaling the last couple of weeks. So, but I'll be the first to admit that there are things that come up in a day-to-day life that I don't take note of, but at the same time I know that are addict behavior. So the more that I can recognize those things, the more that I can talk about those things, those defects, those addict behaviors that I'm exhibiting, the easier it is to kind of reverse the role of what that defect is. So if I always understand, and I'm one of those people, I always know that a relapse is possible. I never forget that a relapse is possible. I'm never safe from a relapse.
No.
So that's why I always have to maintain this checklist or this spot check to be like, yo, this is what you're doing. Is it right? If it's not right, you need to change it. You need to talk about it, and you need to get right, or else
someone's going to give you some get right.
Yeah, so get right.
I'm going to get one of those cans of get right for Derek's car. So it's a constant reminder that a relapse is possible, but I don't have to go back to that, because if I'm being proactive about identifying my defects and what I need to work on, I don't have to be reactive when they rear their ugly head.
I like that. Be proactive, not reactive.
Yeah.
So
learn to respond and not react.
Listen to understand, not respond.
I don't listen to you, but
No one does.
Yeah, see, and I like that. Listening for, what did you just say?
Listen to understand, not to respond.
But we always teach response. A response is a good thing. The reaction is the bad thing.
Yeah.
And so when you say it that way, it's like, man, but I want to respond. But if I'm going to respond, that means that I've taken time to actually listen. So Proverbs tells us a wise man thinks before he speaks, for then what he says is more persuasive. So if I'm listening to you, I'm going to respond, but I'm going to take a minute. I'm really going to chew on that, and I'm going to process it. And that to me is a response versus that reaction. Yeah. But I'm listening to understand. Yeah. But eventually, hopefully respond if it needs a response. Sometimes it don't need one.
And that's the thing. I see it all the time and I do it myself. Somebody will be saying something and I'll quick to a response, like, that Mr. Fix-It guy that's still deep down inside me.
That reaction.
That reaction of, I can solve your problem real quick. Here, do this. you know, but I have to, it's not, sometimes a problem is not even meant to be solved right then. Sometimes it's just, you need to sit there and just be with it.
Are you telling me this because you want me to fix it? Or are you telling me this because you just want me to listen?
Because you want me to listen, right?
That's a hard question to ask.
Ooh, it's a hard question. Yeah, it's a hard answer to give too.
But when you get to the, you know, on the average, like, common to ask that question, usually with the person you're asking it to over a period of time, I don't know if it works for everybody, but it has worked for me, is when that person comes to talk to me now, hey, I don't need you to fix anything. I just need to talk to you about this.
Proactive.
You know,
Yep.
that my wife is like that now. You know, because she knows that's my wife. I'm going to take care of my wife, and she needs something that, well, let me go handle this. No, it's not about handling it.
Right.
I just need someone to
I
vent
just
out
need to
to.
vent at the moment.
Right.
Let me vent to you.
Exactly. Let me unload.
But it takes both sides doing that. It takes us asking. It takes them telling, because I'm not always going to ask, because I'm going to forget sometimes. She's going to come down. She's going to start spewing, and I'm going to be like, all right, I'll be back. Let me go take care of this for you.
Well, no, it is. And my wife recognizes that about me. That's why she's like, I don't need you to do anything. I just need you to listen to this real quick. And I'm like, all right, what's up? And then that's when I put the phone to the side, turn off the iPad. And, what's up?
So Mike you said that you have had a hard time, or you haven't been really journaling lately.
Yeah.
How does somebody that has never really journaled, how do they start to implement this 10-step? How do they start implementing this journaling piece into their daily routine? And both of you could answer it. I mean,
Picking up a notepad and a pen, thinking, what did I do today? What happened today? What was today? And I think once you start questioning that part, you know, what was today, you start to recognize what happened today and what you had something you could have did differently, handled it differently and stuff like that. But it all starts with that pen. You got to pick up that pen to paper, man, because it's, you know, even if you just write down, I woke up today, went to all my groups, 6:30 was okay, dinner was all right, that's my day. But I mean, just to get started.
Yeah.
so
Something as simple as that, just to get started.
One of the biggest questions was like, okay, was I resentful today? Did I do anything out of self-service? Was I self-serving today? Was I what did I say, resentful already?
Yep.
What, you know, just ask yourself these questions regarding your defects, which you find in what step?
6 and 7. Well, you find them in 6.
Find them in 4.
Yeah, you find them in 4.
Identify in 4. Trying to let it go in 6 and 7, but those are the things that you need to ask yourself, or I suggest that we ask ourselves is, did I exhibit these things today?
So I say to start implementing them in your daily life, get a small, something you could carry, right? A little small notepad.
Yep.
For the end of the day, I got a big notepad. So this is A5 paper. That's the size of, and I mean, I got a few notebooks in here, and I got the big one in there as well. But I have this for the end of the day, and I have this throughout the day.
Yep.
So that way, if something big comes up, instead of trying to remember it by the end of the night, I could journal it real quick, just take a quick note, and then I got something for the end of the day.
Yeah.
I think those journal prompts are huge for those that have never journaled before.
100%. And I think that another thing is there's so many guided journals that you can buy that, like for me, that somebody that never did journaling before I got into recovery, you know, very early on, I started off on Fanos, which maybe we can put a superimposed Fanos: feelings, affirmations, needs, ownership, struggle, success. I needed like a guide. I needed a template, you know, or an outline to guide me through, because I had no idea what I was writing. You know, I could free write all day. I think I could, but unless I got those prompts to guide me through, it's hard, because you don't know what you don't know. If you've never done it before, how are you going to do anything? So, one of my biggest ones is the excuse my language, the best damn journal ever. That's a really, really good one.
That's when you and Christina both got in it.
I think we've gone through 3 of them. Yeah.
So I am getting ready to order. I tried to order today, but I ran out of time. Mind Journal is the name of it. They're not cheap, but I could tell you, if you put one in your cart, there's somebody from customer service that will email you. And if you want to do not only the journal, but the daily calendar one that they have as well, I got it down to $76 for both of them. They're $48 a piece. They're 3 months worth of journals.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of helpful guidance in them.
Yeah.
All about goal setting and calendar on the one, mindfulness on the other, self-care stuff is in there, you name it. So I have those coming, and actually pretty soon, me, Christina, and Brent will actually have a journal out with feeling wheels inside of it. It's going to have journal prompts. The first so many pages would be journal prompts, so that way people could turn up front. But get a guided journal. I love that. Get you a notepad. Get you a small one. Get you a large one. So that way at the end of the night, you have something. At the beginning, during the day, you have something.
And get you a tactile turn pen. If you're going to be doing it, get you the pen that really works. just saying.
Well said.
I only agree with you, Derek. I only agree with you.
Yeah, because we use those pens, and that's what works. Like my stainless steel sits right next to my journal. That's my journaling pen. It's my stainless steel one.
Mine too.
My Zerk is my work one, but the stainless steel one is my journaling one, and it sits right next to my journal. Don't go anywhere.
Mama Bear's going to be so mad at me. I haven't been journaling.
So here's what's funny. These are with me. There's two here. There's a pencil and there's my Zerk pencil, my Zerk pen. Here's all these. And then my stainless steel. These are all with me every day, everywhere I go. I have, 5, 7 pens and pencils with me. So anything that I might want to do, I'm not running out of ink.
There you go.
And
you got a buttload of reload cartridges.
Yes, I do. But I love to write.
Yeah.
And I think if people would get into it more, they would love to write. And once they find the healing that comes from writing, they won't mind writing.
But I explained it to a lot of people the way you did it. You did to me, because once you write it on that paper, it's there. It's real, right? We get a thought in our head, and before we can get it out of our mouth, a lot of times it's picked up something from this side of our head, threw something away over here. So that thought we first started off with really isn't there anymore. But you get that thought and you write it down on that paper, that ain't going nowhere. It's right there. It's real.
And it's not the lie that we keep telling ourselves. That's what's so cool about it. It's only the truth.
Right.
We can write lies if we're trying to creative write. But when it comes to taking something from here that's going on inside of us, we don't want to write anything extra. And so we're only writing the facts when they come out. And we could get rid of that. We don't have to sit in that anymore. We don't have to dwell on that. So at the end of the night, if we're journaling our day, I know Christina does it in the morning. I believe in doing it at night. Like before I go to bed, I don't toss and turn. When I'm ready to lay down and go to sleep, I lay down and go to sleep. Why? Because I've already cleared all that stuff out of my head and put it on paper. That 10-step inventory has already been done.
So how can the 10th step improve like relationships and communication skills? You already kind of talked about it, how, and we've all talked about it, how, do you want my advice or you just want me to listen? Because some of our defects do come from, and people might not agree, but as men, we are fixers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we have to swallow that pride and swallow that ego and be like, yo, what do you need from me? I'm
one of the favorite questions, what do you need from me? But I think another way it fixes relationships is when we write down what we've done throughout the day. I didn't journal any of the days I was off.
Yeah, that makes...
It's funny that I'm not journaling on those days and I'm off on those days. Why? Because if I would have journaled, I would have realized I was off and I would have realized why I was off. So at the end of it, when I finally journaled, I came and I got it all. I went and made my stuff right. So I would say it's going to improve our relationships because we're going to know why we are off. We're going to know what's going on inside of us because there's questions we ask ourselves and we'll put them in the notes. Have I shown love today? Was I rude today? Self-serving, self-seeking. All these questions will be answered at the end of the night. And all of a sudden you start looking and going, oh, I really blew it. And so then when you go and make that right, that only improves your relationship, whether that's your spouse, your friends, whoever.
Also, at the same time, when you're journaling like that, you can write out, if you feel you need to go say something to somebody, you can actually write it out, what needs to be said. So when you go and talk with them, you're reading, no thoughts going all over the place in your head. You're reading exactly how you feel because, once again, that's truth because that's, you didn't want to put it all down. This is what's going on. This is what's bothering me. This is why I'm feeling the way I am. And you share that with the member, they're gonna like, okay.
It keeps you on track so you don't run that crazy train.
Right. Without a doubt. So that's the way it helps out big time. And
yeah. And you can do the same thing when you take that paper to them. Hey, look, I'm telling you this because I need to tell you and I need to make this right. I don't need you to fix it or respond. I need you to listen.
That's it.
I encourage that big time with a lot of clients, man. Before you make that phone call to your wife because you're upset she wants you here for 40 days instead of 30, write it out. Do what? No, whatever it is you're feeling, write it out to her. Why would I do that? Because what you really want to say is you're going to write out on that paper. And you're not going to get upset with her. You're not going to go, start thinking a bunch of other stuff. You're going to read exactly what you wrote out. Mm-hmm. And I've had 3 out of maybe the 7 people that I've had do that thank me for it. So 3 out of 7 is not too bad. I mean, it's not 50%,
not at
but
all.
Take it.
It works.
Let's close with these last 2. One is the role of gratitude and mindfulness in the 10th step, and then how the 10th step can lead to a more fulfilling and balanced life. I think we've kind of touched on it, but let's close on those. The role of gratitude and mindfulness in the 10th step, and how can it lead to a more fulfilling and balanced life?
When you're writing out what you're grateful for, you recognize it more like the next day. So, something could happen today that, I'm actually grateful that, I'm grateful I showed up to the podcast, right? Tomorrow, I'm going to be like, podcast went really good. I feel something better about, just because I felt good about a situation the day before, the next day I'm even feeling better about it. And that,
nice.
So
Nuggets of positivity.
Nuggets
of positivity.
Not chicken nuggets.
No. We're talking nuggets.
So how can the 10th step lead to a more fulfilling or balanced life?
When you're writing out that 10th step and you recognize the things you did wrong, not just that could have went wrong today, but the good things that happened as well. And you start recognizing, okay, this went this way. However, I could have done this. This would have happened. But this also happened. And, I'm glad I did it this way. This went really well. You start recognizing that your day's not all bad. Because you had a bad moment don't mean you had a bad day. There's positive things that happen in it.
So you're saying write out good and bad in your 10th step.
Yeah, just like we talked about in the 4th step. Why it's inventory, so why change it up? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. So Mike, same to you. The role of gratitude and mindfulness in the 10th step process, and then how can it lead to more fulfilling and balanced life?
Makes you more, gives you a better sense of responsibility of the things that you need to do on a daily basis. I need to be mindful of how I am in all situations. Am I? No, I'm not, because I'm human and I make mistakes. But the more that I recognize my faults as well as my assets, the more that I talk through those things with another person, a sponsor, a therapist, whoever it may be, pastors, the better that I will be and the better outcome typically that will come. As far as like a balanced life goes, I have to be increasingly mindful and increasingly, there it is, responsible to myself, but also accountable to other people. We've said it in the past. Responsibility is an inward thing. Accountability is an outward force. I'm getting accountability from other people, but I am responsible to myself and my recovery. So Amen. I have to be responsible for the things that I put out into the world. I have to be responsible for the things I put into that journal. I have to be responsible for my actions, my words, everything. And if I hold myself responsible, I'm only going to try to put out good things into the world, because I don't want to be responsible for the negativity that I used to put out.
Amen.
Shane?
I didn't have to answer, did I? No, I'm just playing. So the role of gratitude, the why. The role of gratitude to me is all about the why.
Oh, yeah.
Because if I'm grateful for this podcast, why am I grateful for this podcast? Everything that I do, if I can attach a why to it, it allows me to be balanced. It allows me to truly be joyful and truly be grateful for those things. And in that, it helps my mindfulness. It helps me be aware. And it will actually help me lead a balanced life. And when I don't do those things, my wife gets to turn around and tell me, you're off. You son of a gun, you're off. Do something about it. You better go journal. You better go fix it. Call your sponsor.
Call your sponsee, whatever,
Yeah, whatever you may need to do.
Just say.
But really, to me, it starts with the basics of that day, what it was like. But if I can actually put what I'm grateful for at the end of it and why I'm grateful for it, it will make me realize the things that are around me and the blessings that I have around me. That's why I love gratitude.
Yeah, that's what I meant when I said what I said, but I forgot the why.
Yeah, I picked that up. That's what you were trying to say. Yeah.
And just forgot the why.
I forgot the why.
If I'm grateful for the sky, why am I grateful for the sky? If I'm grateful for whatever, why am I grateful for it? Once I put that why down, know your why. So in closing, D, what do you got?
Daily inventory. Check yourself. I mean, to me, that's what it is. It's you're checking yourself. Not no list, not no boxes. You're checking yourself, where you're at in your recovery, how far along are you going, what can be changed, and why. Don't see how how I did that?
I see that.
Yeah. I mean, really though, that should be a lot of your journal. This happened today and it made me feel this way. Why did I feel that way? And why, what can I do to change it? And my final question is, how do I approach that? That's been my thing at work. Why, what, and how? Why do you feel that way? Why is it bothering you? What can you do to change it?
It's a lot of whys.
How do you go about it? It's only 2.
Yeah, no, but that's good. The more whys, the better. Mikey, in closing, what do you got?
Daily inventories are good.
Okay.
I found one thing in Psalm 139. David asked God to help him take inventory of his heart. In verses 23-24, he prayed, "Search me, O God, and know my heart." Ask God to help you search your heart.
And let me know if there's any wicked ways in me. And then he will lead me in the way everlasting.
They had the finish of it.
I love the part that you did, search me, oh God, but that's tough, man. That's we've said it in the last, I think, 3 podcasts since we've been working on the 4-step all the way up until now. That's been that scripture that runs throughout. 1 Corinthians 10:12. So if you think you're standing firm, be careful that you don't fall. If we think that we've got it by this point, be careful because, there's things that could creep in. If we're not taking a daily inventory, those things will creep in. And I love the Beatitudes out of it. Reserve a daily time with God for self-examination, Bible reading, and prayer in order to know God and his will for my life and to gain the power to follow his will. That 10-step inventory give you everything that you need on a daily basis, what you need to work on and how far you've come.
Amen, amen.
And
Laminate?
Lamentations 3:40. Let us examine our ways and test them, and let us return to the Lord.
Yes, indeed.
On a daily basis.
Absolutely. Love it.
On a daily basis.
Y'all, we want to make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We are on all podcast platforms. You got any info you want us to check out? If you have some topics you want us to speak on, please email us at info@awakensober.org. Derek, what'd you have?
I was going to mention how it says examine your ways. It doesn't say examine your bad ways that day. Don't say examine. It said examine your ways. Everything about your day, both good, positive, and everything in between.
So now, from all of us here at Awaken Sober,
all of us,
we love you. Thanks for joining us. God bless. We'll see you next week.
See you next week, y'all.
Peace.